Have you ever found yourself deeply affected by someone's comment, a situation, or something from your past? Maybe it was a word, a look, or an event that triggered a strong emotional reaction, leaving you feeling vulnerable, unworthy, or even out of control. You might have tried to shake it off, but somehow those feelings lingered, clouding your thoughts and making everything feel heavier. What if I told you that you don't have to feel like this anymore? What if you could learn to move through life without being so easily affected by the opinions, judgments, or actions of others? The truth is, the power to break free from this emotional grip lies within you. This isn't about willpower or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's not about bottling up your emotions or wearing a mask of positivity. In fact, this approach often makes things worse. The key is much deeper, more profound than that. It involves understanding that your peace and emotional balance are not dependent on external events or people. The freedom you seek starts with transforming how you experience the world, starting with how you interpret your emotions and your thoughts. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how some people, no matter what happens, seem to glide through life with deep, unshakable calm? They encounter setbacks, losses, and challenges, yet they maintain a sense of peace and centeredness. On the other hand, you may find yourself feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or even shattered by the smallest things. Is there something inherently different about them? Is it luck, personality, or is there a deeper principle that separates those who master their inner world from those who remain controlled by their emotions? Here's the truth. Those who have found true peace understand something that most of us overlook. They know that reality is not imposed on us. It is interpreted by us. The way you interpret what happens in your life shapes your emotional experience. But how do we make this shift? How do we take control of our interpretation and stop allowing the outside world to dictate how we feel? Louise Hay, through her teachings, offers a transformative approach to achieving this by going within, healing your inner wounds, and changing the narrative you've been telling yourself about who you are and how the world works. If you want to stop feeling so easily affected, it all starts with changing the way you relate to yourself and the world around you. Instead of being a victim to your emotions and reactions, you can become the observer, the one who chooses how to respond, not react. So, I want to ask you, what if, instead of allowing life to control you, you could begin to reclaim your power? How would your world change if nothing and no one could affect you in the same way again? Take a moment and think about it. I invite you to reflect on this. And if it resonates with you, leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. What's one thing in your life that you wish you could stop letting affect you? Now that you understand the power of your inner interpretation, let's dive deeper into how you can begin to transform your emotional responses. This is where the real change happens, by understanding and shifting your relationship with your emotions. We all know how powerful our emotions can be. They can make us feel alive, connected, and energized. But they can also make us feel overwhelmed, lost, and sometimes even powerless. But what if you could begin to see your emotions not as obstacles or threats, but as tools for growth and transformation? Imagine for a moment that each emotion you experience has a message for you. Each feeling, whether it's sadness, fear, or anger, is a signal, a teacher guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself. Instead of pushing these emotions away or suppressing them, what if you could stop and listen to them? What if you could ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Take fear, for example. Often, fear can feel like a heavy weight on our chest, paralyzing us and preventing us from moving forward. But fear, in its essence, is simply a signal. It's telling you that there is something within you that needs attention, perhaps a limiting belief, an unresolved wound, or a fear of stepping into the unknown. Instead of avoiding fear, what if you embraced it and asked, What is this fear trying to teach me about myself? This is where Louise Hay's teachings shine through. She encourages us to transform our perspective on emotions. Rather than seeing them as something to control or avoid, she teaches us to embrace them as opportunities for self-discovery. When we shift our mindset in this way, we stop reacting to life from a place of fear or resistance, and instead, we begin to respond with clarity and insight. This approach doesn't mean you won't experience challenging emotions. Of course, you will. But the difference is, instead of being controlled by those emotions, you'll learn to observe them with a sense of curiosity and understanding. And in that moment, you'll regain your power. You'll understand that you are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are the one in control of how you respond. Let me ask you, when was the last time you allowed yourself to feel deeply, without judgment or resistance? When was the last time you sat with your emotions and truly listened to what they were trying to tell you? Take a moment and reflect on this. Consider how you can allow yourself to experience your emotions more fully without trying to suppress or ignore them. By practicing this, you'll begin to gain greater control over your emotional responses, helping you move through life with more clarity and peace. Have you ever found yourself caught in a cycle of negative thinking? You know the kind. Those repetitive thoughts that tell you you're not enough, that you're going to fail, or that you don't deserve happiness. These thoughts can be incredibly powerful and can easily spiral into anxiety, self-doubt, and even depression. But what if I told you that you don't have to listen to those thoughts anymore? The first step in breaking this cycle is realizing that these thoughts are not who you are. They are simply patterns that have developed over time, thoughts that were learned and repeated, often without you even realizing it. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. And just because you've thought something for a long time doesn't mean it defines you. This is where Louise Hay's teachings come in. She encourages us to recognize that we have the power to change our thoughts, to replace the limiting beliefs that hold us back with empowering ones. It all starts with self-awareness. By becoming aware of the negative thought patterns that run through your mind, you can begin to challenge them. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this," stop for a moment and ask, is this thought really true? Where is it coming from? Most of the time, these negative thoughts are rooted in past experiences or fears. They are not truths. They are stories we've told ourselves over and over again. And the good news is, just as we learn these stories, we can unlearn them. The process of changing your thoughts requires patience and practice. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is entirely possible. Start by replacing negative thoughts with affirmations that align with the life you want to create. When you think, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am worthy of success and happiness." When you think, "I'll never succeed," replace it with, "I am capable of achieving my goals." Over time, these positive affirmations will become your new reality. But it's not just about affirmations. It's also about taking inspired action. As you begin to shift your mindset, you'll start to feel a sense of empowerment. And when you take action from this place of empowerment, you'll notice how much more aligned your life becomes. Opportunities will begin to open up, and you'll feel more confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Think about a time when you had a negative thought that held you back. How did it affect your actions and your outcomes? What would have happened if you had replaced that thought with a more positive and empowering belief? At this point, you may be wondering, how do I stop these old patterns from controlling me? The answer lies in one of the most powerful teachings of Louise Hay, the power of self-love and acceptance. When you begin to love yourself fully, you stop depending on external validation to feel worthy. You no longer need others to affirm your value because you know, deep down, that you are enough just as you are. This is the foundation of true inner peace. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about embracing who you are right now, with all your flaws and imperfections. Self-love is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice, a daily commitment to recognizing your worth and treating yourself with kindness and compassion. Louise Hay taught us that self-love is the key to transforming our lives. When we love ourselves, we set the standard for how we allow others to treat us. We stop accepting disrespect or mistreatment because we understand that we deserve better. But self-love doesn't just stop with how we treat ourselves. It also affects how we view the world. When you love yourself, you stop seeing the world as a hostile place. You stop feeling like a victim of life's circumstances and start seeing everything as an opportunity for growth. The challenges you face become less intimidating because you know that you have the strength and resilience to handle them. Imagine waking up every morning feeling truly good about who you are. Imagine not relying on the approval of others to feel confident. How different would your life be if you could move through each day with this sense of inner security and self-assurance? Self-love allows you to cultivate this inner security, and as you build this foundation, you will begin to see the world differently. The same situations, the same people will appear in a completely new light. You'll feel more peaceful, grounded, and confident because your sense of worth is no longer dependent on the outside world. So, let me ask you, what would it look like for you to start embracing yourself right now as you are? What if you could let go of the need to be perfect and simply accept yourself with all your strengths and imperfections? Take a moment and reflect on this. Think about the ways you can begin to show yourself more love and kindness. And if something resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. How can you start loving yourself more today as you continue on your journey toward emotional freedom? One of the most liberating realizations you will encounter is that you are not defined by your past. For many of us, our past experiences shape how we see ourselves, how we react to others, and how we approach life. But what if I told you that your past doesn't have to dictate your future? We often hold on to old stories, mistakes, and memories that make us feel unworthy or incapable. We replay these events in our minds, carrying them like heavy weights that prevent us from moving forward. These stories, while familiar, don't have to control your present or your future. They are just memories, and memories can be reinterpreted. The power lies in how we choose to see them. Louise Hay taught us that true healing begins when we stop identifying ourselves with our past. Yes, it's part of our history, but it doesn't have to define who we are today. Healing involves accepting what has happened and recognizing that we are not the sum of our mistakes or the challenges we've faced. We are so much more than that. Forgiveness plays a central role in this process. It's not about forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about releasing the emotional grip that these experiences have on us. When we forgive, we free ourselves. Forgiveness is an act of self-love, not for the other person or situation, but for ourselves. It allows us to move forward with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Imagine for a moment that you could let go of the regret, guilt, and shame you've been carrying. Imagine how different your life would feel if you didn't let past mistakes dictate your present actions. How much lighter would you feel? How much more freedom would you experience if you could forgive yourself and move on? The process of forgiving yourself can be difficult, but it's essential for your emotional and spiritual growth. Louise Hay's teachings encourage us to see forgiveness as a gift we give ourselves. It's about understanding that we are not perfect, but we are worthy of love and acceptance despite our flaws. When we learn to forgive, we create space for new possibilities. We stop living in the shadow of our past and begin to embrace the present moment with all its opportunities. Forgiveness also helps us to release the anger and resentment that hold us back, allowing us to step into a life of peace and emotional freedom. Think about something you may still be holding on to. Is there a past mistake, a difficult relationship, or a regret that still weighs you down? What would it feel like to release that burden and step into your future without it? The moment you forgive, you are choosing to move forward, and you are choosing to reclaim your power. Take a moment and reflect on this. Consider how you can begin to let go of the past and embrace the freedom that forgiveness brings. As you continue to deepen your understanding of emotional freedom, another powerful principle emerges: living in the present moment. So often, we get caught up in worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. We replay old events, imagining what we could have done differently. We worry about what might happen tomorrow, what we haven't accomplished, or what we might lose. But the truth is, none of these things exist in the present moment. They are just thoughts and fears that distract us from the here and now. Louise Hay's teachings remind us that the present moment is the only time we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is not yet here. All we really have is the present, and it is where our power lies. When we are fully present, we are able to experience life more fully, with all its richness and beauty. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities or future goals. It simply means that you are fully engaged in what is happening right now. It's about being present with yourself, with the people around you, and with the experiences you are having in this moment. When we practice mindfulness, we stop letting our minds wander to the past or the future, and instead, we focus on what is happening in front of us. One powerful way to practice living in the present is by focusing on your breath. When you feel your mind start to drift into thoughts about the past or future, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Feel the air as it enters your body and notice how it moves through your lungs. As you focus on each inhale and exhale, you bring yourself back to the present moment. It's a simple practice, but it can have a profound effect on your state of mind. Another way to stay present is by fully engaging in whatever activity you're doing, whether you're having a conversation, eating, walking, or even doing chores. Give your full attention to the task at hand. Notice the details, the sounds, the smells, the textures, and the feelings. By immersing yourself in the moment, you will begin to feel more connected to the world around you and to your own experience. Living in the present also means releasing the need to control everything. So often, we try to control the outcomes of our actions, the thoughts of others, or the course of events in our lives. But the more we try to control, the more we create anxiety and stress. When we let go of the need for control, we open ourselves up to life's natural flow. We trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and that we are capable of handling whatever comes our way. Let me ask you, when was the last time you were truly present in a moment? When did you last stop and simply breathe without worrying about the past or future? Imagine how different your life would be if you made a conscious decision to live in the present every day. Take a moment to reflect on how you can begin to embrace the present more fully. What small steps can you take today to bring more mindfulness into your life? By practicing this, you will find that peace and joy begin to flow more naturally into your experience. As you continue to move forward on your journey of emotional freedom, you will encounter one of the most empowering lessons: the importance of setting healthy boundaries. Many of us have been conditioned to be people pleasers, to constantly accommodate others' needs while putting our own aside. We've been taught that saying no is selfish, or that we must always be available for others. But what if I told you that setting boundaries is actually a form of self-love and respect? Setting boundaries is not about rejecting others or shutting them out. It's about protecting your own energy and making sure you are prioritizing your well-being. When you have clear boundaries, you are teaching others how to treat you and what you will and will not tolerate. This is a vital step in reclaiming your personal power. The process of setting boundaries begins with self-awareness. It starts with identifying what drains you, what makes you feel uncomfortable, or what causes you unnecessary stress. It might be certain people, situations, and/or commitments that leave you feeling overwhelmed or undervalued. Once you have clarity on these areas, you can begin to establish boundaries that honor your needs and protect your emotional health. At first, setting boundaries might feel uncomfortable. You might worry about disappointing others or feeling guilty for saying no. But the more you practice setting healthy boundaries, the more natural it becomes. Remember, boundaries are not about rejecting others. They are about taking care of yourself. By setting boundaries, you are ensuring that you have the energy and emotional space to show up as the best version of yourself, both for you and for the people you care about. One key aspect of setting boundaries is learning how to communicate them effectively. It's important to be clear, direct, and kind when expressing your needs. You don't need to apologize for taking care of yourself, and you don't need to explain yourself excessively. A simple, firm, and polite statement is often all that's needed. For example, if someone asks you to do something that you know will drain your energy or make you feel uncomfortable, you can respond with something like, "I'm unable to do that right now, but I appreciate you understanding my need for space." This simple statement is clear, respectful, and sets the boundary without guilt or explanation. Setting boundaries also means giving yourself permission to prioritize your own needs. This could be as simple as saying no to an invitation when you're feeling tired, or it could involve making time for activities that nurture your soul, like spending time in nature, meditating, or enjoying a hobby. It's about reclaiming your time and energy for the things that bring you peace and joy. Remember, setting boundaries is not selfish. It's a necessary practice for maintaining your emotional well-being. When you set boundaries, you are not only taking care of yourself, but also teaching others how to respect you. You are modeling self-respect, self-love, and emotional strength. And as you continue to honor your boundaries, you will find that you create more space for the things that truly matter to you. As we reach the final chapter, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. Your inner peace is your responsibility. Throughout this journey, we've explored how to reclaim your emotional power, transform your thoughts, and set healthy boundaries. Now the key is to fully embrace the understanding that peace doesn't depend on anything outside of you. It starts within. The world around us is constantly changing. People come and go, circumstances shift, and unexpected challenges arise. But no matter what happens, you always have the power to choose how you respond. You are not at the mercy of the world around you. You are the creator of your emotional experience, and you can decide to maintain your peace no matter what is happening. This might sound like a simple concept, but it's one that requires practice. Every time you face a challenge, a negative thought, or a difficult emotion, you have a choice. You can either react from a place of fear, anger, or stress, or you can choose to respond from a place of peace, clarity, and self-love. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Over time, your inner peace will become less dependent on the external world, and you will find yourself feeling more grounded and centered in every situation. One powerful tool to help you maintain your inner peace is mindfulness. By being present in the moment, you can break free from the cycle of overthinking and worry. When you focus on your breath, your body, and your surroundings, you shift your attention away from the past and future, and you reconnect with the present. In the present moment, you are always safe. There is no fear, no stress, no anxiety. There's only the here and now, and that is where peace resides. Another key element in maintaining inner peace is letting go of the need to control everything. We often try to control the people around us, the situations we find ourselves in, and the outcomes of our actions. But the truth is, we can't control everything. The more we try to control, the more we create resistance and stress. When we release the need for control and trust the process of life, we open ourselves up to peace. Louise Hay often said, "You have the power to choose the thoughts you think." This is a profound statement because it means that no matter what happens, you always have the power to decide how you interpret the events of your life. If someone criticizes you, you can choose to take it personally and feel hurt. Or you can choose to understand that their words are a reflection of them, not you. If a situation doesn't go as planned, you can choose to feel frustrated. Or you can choose to see it as an opportunity for growth. At the core of it all is self-love. When you love yourself fully, you trust yourself. You trust that you have the wisdom and the strength to handle whatever life brings your way. You trust that no matter what happens, you will be okay. And when you trust yourself, you are free. Free from the need for validation. Free from the need to control. Free from the fear of the unknown. So, I want to leave you with one final question. What would it look like for you to live every day from a place of inner peace? How would your life change if you could embrace every situation with calm, clarity, and love? The answer lies within you. It always has. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, peace is not something you find. It's something you create within yourself. And once you master that, nothing and no one can ever take it away from you. Keep choosing peace, keep choosing love, and keep choosing yourself.